Hey guys, what's up? So we're gonna do a tidbit. It's probably gonna be like a long tidbit, but it's a tidbit, I guess, even though tidbit's supposed to be short. If I didn't do like any of the other explaining or whatever, then it probably would be more of a tidbit, but we're not gonna. So I was watching this thing and it was really interesting to me and I wanted to put it into like my own words, okay? So it's like when a man is hurt or wounded, works out of a fear-based mindset, they will do things to hurt you, or just, not, and it might not even be purposely, it will just be subconsciously that they'll do something out of their conditioning, out of their programming, out of a way of a cycle, like cycles, repetitions, like things that like they're used to doing in order to not feel a certain type of way or not get a certain reaction from you. Like say like, they grew up in a certain kind of home and if they did something and they got a certain type of reaction every time they did it, like they might not do it with you because they don't want that kind of reaction. So instead, as a child, you can't really do certain things, but as an adult you can. So if they don't want to feel a certain type of way, but they know that like if they used to do this in the past, that like it would get this certain kind of reaction. So it could be counteractive, where they end up doing like a different action to counteract what it is what they used to do, and that can also hurt you. And they don't purposely, spitefully, or trying to do it. They can, obviously, but these can just be from conditionings. Okay, I was gonna do a video on our conditionings and how like we are the people that allow ourselves to be hurt. Like we always get to choose how we want to look at things, how we want to feel, whatever. As a child, you obviously don't know that, so it's different, but that's how we are conditioned, and that is how we heal. And that's something I was gonna do. Anyways, so action, right? And a woman, when she is wounded or when she is hurt or when she is working, if she is acting out of her trauma-based fear, whatever, she will hurt you with her words. Now, think about it, okay? I know that with me, when I used to have, I don't fight. I don't really fight. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't. I don't. I can literally say, like, I don't fight with people and be confident in nobody being able to come back and be like, yeah, you do. Did it? Like, I honestly, like, I don't fight with people. I handle things very differently than other people do. Because I have a very pure hearted understanding of people and triggers and trauma and why they do the things they do. So it's like, I don't take things personally because I know that it's just something that I did that triggered the person. It doesn't actually have to do with me. So I don't take things personally, and I don't know, I just don't. I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I really want to like make a video of like the text messages that I have with my ex, like from Thanksgiving until the last one I got from him was like the 15th of December. But just so you can see like how I respond to the most horrible things that he has said to me, okay? See, so like if you look at it though, like a man can also hurt you with their words. I'm not saying that they don't. And it's like you can also say like the action could be their words. So I'm not saying that a woman can't do the same thing as a man can't do the same thing as a woman out of action or out of speech, okay? If you have to pick one or the other for either a masculine or a feminine and what they do as an energy when they're in their hurt-based, fear-based, trauma-based actions, it would be a man taking action is more likely going to be what they do in order to hurt you, regardless if they're trying to or not. And what a woman is going to do is more of her speech, what she's going to say, how she's going to say it, like cut deep, Now, like I was saying, anger is a secondary emotion, okay? So anger doesn't just come out of nowhere. Something has to make you angry, okay? So what used to make me angry, where my anger issues used to be, is you would make me feel weak. So but that's the thing, like I would give you that control. So it's like I'm giving you control over my emotional health, my mental health, like how I respond. Like, that's an emotional manipulation, okay? Doesn't mean that that's what they're doing, but that is what a thing is. Like, that's how narcissists work. Like, they do certain things to get a reaction out of you in order to control how you feel, in order to make you do certain things, especially if they know that you'll do those things, and especially if they know your life and they know your triggers and they know what they can do and what they can't do to get the reaction that they want to get out of you, okay? So don't forget what you were saying, Bethany. Okay, so just like where I got to. Okay, secondary emotion. Okay, ready? So when people would try to when people would make me feel weak. So like if you did something and it like hurt my feelings, I would get angry. I would show anger. That would be my defense mechanism. That would be my mask, right? Because if you're not vulnerable, you don't have those communication skills, which obviously you don't in that wounded area, that wounded feminine or masculine area. Situation, it's like at a certain point, like I wasn't able to be like, yo, that hurt my feelings, like, and have like a normal conversation about it and explain it rather than yell, get angry and, whatever. Because that's what, and in my situation, that's what I was shown. Okay. Like, and what I mean by that is like when I was growing up, like I was around people that like had anger issues and you could tell where it came from now looking back on it, but the situations that would happen to make that anger come out was also it could be a part of feeling hurt or feeling unloved, feeling unworthy from something that somebody said or something that somebody did or something that just triggered that person into doing what they were doing. And I do know the triggers, but I would, whatever. So hold on one second. So yeah. So normally I would do the anger thing, and that was to protect myself and so I also wouldn't get more hurt, when we're taught, I'm going to do a video on this too, because I don't know, I relate with men really well. Like, I don't know, I watch these things called whatever podcasts, and it's pretty much men like not competing with women, but like these women are like on OnlyFans or like, they're sugar babies, or like they use their body and they use sex and they use all this and everything as their career, and or they're feminist, and it's like I hate to even admit that I'm part of that kind of gender. I don't know, because like the things they say, literally you're just like, now I know why you use your body. And it's sad. It really is. I don't mean to say that, but it's like, whatever. But I don't know their life. I don't know their past, so I can't really judge them. It is what it is. But these guys are saying these things to them, and you're just like, huh. So, like, I don't know. I just relate with guys. I can, like, understand it. So when you're being brought up that you can't have emotions and everything, like, you can't feel weak, what other emotion are you going to have? Anger. You're going to show anger, you're going to get defensive because you got triggered. So anyways, that's like what a woman does. Now, in order to learn how to, like, what a woman and what a man needs to learn differently is a man needs to learn how to self-control. Because if a man can self-control, then they're not going to do these actions subconsciously or consciously out of being triggered, out of being hurt when it happens. They're going to be able to self-control themselves in what they go off and do and think before acting. You know what I mean? But it's like also like men can easily, like, depending, I mean, anybody can. If you grew up in if you're indecisive and you don't know what to do and everything like that, and you're used to everybody making your own decisions for you growing up, and you never really had the chance to be able to do that, and you're used to going to everybody else and asking them what you should do, or you're listening to what everybody else is telling you what to do, it's easier for you to be a person that can be manipulated or have people steer you in the wrong direction for their own good, for their own benefit, on their own behalf, and you don't really even realize it because, like, you're so used to just having people tell you the direction to go in, and you trust certain people that they would lead you not astray, so it's like. And the other thing is that if you've been led astray your whole entire life by, like, your parents, your school, like, whatever kind of authority figure that you would go to for this advice to tell you what to do, and that's what you would go by. If that's what you're used to doing along your way, and everybody that you asked they were also working out of their fear base, their trauma, you know what I mean? So if like you're asking somebody about a relationship and wish you should do this and that, like if you ask somebody that has a shitty relationship and it's all like cheating and this or that, they're gonna tell you what to do out of their own fear-based trauma, you know? So it's like they could be like, oh, don't trust that, you know what I mean? Like everybody has trusted you, like, so like you should not go to people that don't. If you want a good career, don't go to somebody that keeps getting fired and asking them career advice, you know? So it's like we don't realize that when we are asking people what we should do, that they sometimes don't even mean to tell us in a way of trying to make us go down the wrong path. That's just how they would do things because of their trauma, okay? So it's not always like they're trying to actually control you and manipulate you into whatever so they can benefit off of your whatever. So you keep doing things for them, or you know, all that. Or if they're jealous of what you could have and they tell you to do something different so you can't have it. And if they're miserable and they don't want you to do something that's going to make you happy or better than them or have more success than them, they're going to purposely lead you astray. Now, when we are indecisive, okay, it can be obviously like, I don't know what kind of coffee I want. I don't know what restaurant I want to go to, but it can also be life choices like I was just talking about. And I've realized like my whole entire life, like I was led astray by people that did not know what the fuck they were doing because they didn't have that healthy kind of, you know, choice decision making on their own. So how are they going to make choice decision making healthy things for me? Whether they, again, purposely were trying to do it to me as a child growing up or not. So I learned that it's easier for us to listen to people tell us to do unhealthy things because that's what we're used to. That's comfortability. So even if somebody told you like, no, you should do this and it's a good, healthy thing, sometimes we don't look at it like that because we're not used to that. That's not comfortable. That's uncomfortable. That's out of your comfort zone, right? So that's scary. That's the unexpected. Like normally, like if you would do that or you would do this, you knew a certain outcome or you knew how a person would react or, you know, whatever, and you would get your way. But also, oh, that's where I was starting to say, I'm not going to go there because I don't want to lose what I was saying. So anyways, yeah, so I always thought about it. I was like, I'm so indecisive. I have to not say that, Bethany. I have gotten better with being indecisive. It's not always that easy, I understand. But what I'm trying to say is I know now what's healthy for me and what's not. You know what I mean? But you still tug and you still go back and forth even though you know what you should do because you're not used to doing it. So again, you question, is this really the right thing to do? Is this it? But it's like when you're a child, you don't have a choice. So it's like my grandmother used to make me do things that actually were putting me in danger. And even though I would say something, it didn't fucking matter because on her behalf, it helped her. Like my cousin would bother me to go outside and I'd be like, no, I don't want to because I was unsafe with him. And, you know, I've gotten molested by him and he would torment me. And so he would bother me and bother me and bother me. And my grandmother didn't want to hear him. So she'd be like, go outside, Bethany. And I'm like, I don't want to. But because it was bothering her to have to hear him on her behalf for her own satisfaction, on her, you know, she told me to go outside because she didn't want to hear it. So it was like for her. It wasn't for my safety. It wasn't for my wanting or desire or, you know, anything like that. It was for her. Well, that's what I mean by, like, I just bit my fucking cheek thing. That's what I mean by, like, some people will tell you what to do out of what's going to be good for them, what's going to help them, what's going to, like, make them happy. You know what I mean? It didn't matter, no matter what. Even though, like, she knew because my mom would tell her things, and it didn't matter. Anyways. So it's like, now I can make healthy decisions for myself. But when I was getting to that point, it's like, you know, you're in a relationship and you love somebody very much, but they're very toxic. They're very, you know, whatever for you. And you can see they're bringing you down more and more and more. And you could have been at this level. And then all of a sudden they come into your life and you like gradually are like, you know, all of a sudden you're depressed. You're not doing the things you used to do. It's like you have to be aware of what these things stem from. And it's like sometimes we're in denial. Like we don't want to believe it's that person. We don't want to believe that's the reason because we want to hold on to it and we don't want to let go. But at the same time, it's like you can't ask for this and be living like this. Like you can't ask for a loving, healthy relationship where it could lead to marriage one day or kids or family or whatever, stable foundation, when you're fucking with somebody that is not going to ever give that to you. Or at least, you know, if you don't make a change, nothing is going to change. You can't depend on somebody else to make a change in order to make you happy. And again, you can manipulate the person too, but that's control. And when you're trying to control somebody, it's fear-based. You know what I mean? And also you are resisting every good blessing that you want to come to you because you're trying to control the situation. You're trying to control your life and you're not giving it away to God and giving your burdens away to Him. So it just weighs you down even more and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so they need self-control. But what I'm trying to say is if you don't have self-control, a man or woman, whatever, a woman more like I would look at this as like if you had narcissistical like family, like exes, like whatever. But like as a man, like if you have people doing it like that, that's completely different more than like a narcissistical type of thing with like a woman. Because I feel like that's more like also a mix with daddy issues. And the man could also have daddy issues, but in a way of not being able to be weak. And if somebody is asking other people for their what they should do and they go off and do it, then they can blame that other person on, oh, well, this happened because you told me to do this, blah, 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 blah. So it's like you don't have to make the decisions and you can blame somebody else on it after for all your mistakes, all the things that are going wrong in your life because you listen to them. So it's also like a safety net of where like it's like if I fail, I can blame it on somebody else. It's not me. I'm not the one that's unworthy. It's like they told me what to do. I did it and it fucked. You know what I mean? So it's not my fault. But that can also be a father wound. You know, not wanting to let your father down. It can be the same with, you know, whatever. But if you have a certain father kind of figure that tells you like, oh, don't do this, like you look like a pussy, like have no feelings, da-da-da. Like if you put that in somebody else's hands of what, you know, whatever, it takes the control off of your own feelings into blaming somebody else for the outcome of your feelings of being unsuccessful in that area, which means like your father can't blame you or make you feel like you're a failure kind of thing. Damn, that just came out of nowhere. Anyways, so if you have self-control, you can make your own decisions that are best for you. You can make the decisions of your actions that are best for the situation. And you take control over yourself and don't let other people have control over you, you know, whatever, yourself. So a woman has to control silence, okay? So women have to learn how to be silent, but they are not being silenced, okay? A woman is not talking, not saying things, you know, whatever, because they're being told to. They're doing it because they're going to bring back, you know, out of reacting, saying this, saying that, that's going to hurt you and that they might even regret later. They're going to hold their peace, what is it? Bite their tongue. We need to make up different sayings. We really do, because they are all negative. I don't even know where the fuck they come from. Anyways, but this is my own universe, so I fucking clearly somehow made it up myself. But that's solipsism, solipsism, whatever. It's a philosophy that's cool to think of. Anyways, so just remember you are the main character of your own life, of your own story. Like if you picture your life as a movie, like you are the main actor or actress. Okay, just remember that. So you control everything that you want to have, but you don't control how you're gonna get it. You just I'm not going to go into all that. But, yeah, so a woman is not silenced. She is silent, okay? So she steps back and observes. She analyzes. She breaks down the situation and does not react right away. She will let you prove to her if she wants to give you a position in her life. You know what I mean? She will break it down. Like, she will become the observer, which we all are. We should be the observer of our thoughts and our actions, and that's how you become a lot more self-aware of things as well. This tidbit is not a tidbit. So, but anyways, yeah, so it's like, that's how she would need to learn how to heal, is being more silent and observing, you know, and then deciding what it is and how she wants to go about it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think before I do what I had to do, I was telling myself that I have to say from there. So I don't remember why. But yeah, so these are when we are in our power, okay? So that's why for a man, self-control is his greatest power. Because once he learns not to be out of control, but to be out of people's control, because he has self-control, that's a powerful man. Do you get what I'm saying? So then, when a woman can learn how to be silent, but not be silenced, that's when she's in her power, like I said, because she's watching, she's observing, she's analyzing, she's breaking things down, she's stepping back, and she's waiting for that opportunity. Hold on a second. She's waiting for that opportunity to speak. And when she speaks, people listen. So listen to what I'm saying, because there's wisdom coming from what I'm saying. There's wisdom coming out of my mouth, okay? So again, a woman, her power is to be silent, okay? But it's like when she pays attention and she does the work to be patient in making her actions and saying what it is she needs to say and waiting for that perfect opportunity. Perfect, there's no perfect time of doing anything, but there is in certain situations where, like, you know what I mean? I don't have to be like, whatever. And I know people aren't going to sit there and be like fighting with me about it. Plus my comments are off, so nobody can anyways. And that's not why I do it. I do it because I just don't know. But yeah, and it's like, if you don't say things to hurt people anymore as a woman, and being silent as your power, people are going to listen, you know, or at least listen more, or at least more people would listen, or, you know, because they'll be able to communicate better as well. Because if they're thoroughly analyzing and observing what's going on, they'll be able to articulate it better and have an explanation with the what was I saying? Better understanding. Because they'll be able to thoroughly go through what has been going on, where they want to speak their truth and wait for that opportunity to do so. Okay? But if you're not yelling and you're not hurting people by your words, people are going to listen. Better, at least. And if they care about you, they, you know, will. Anyways, that is my tidbit of 25 freaking minutes. Okay? Bye, guys.